Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Allergies are killing me, y'all. Good afternoon. Everybody, good afternoon. Oh, hello, Tony. What's up, Lioness? Hi, Nerag. What's going on? Hey, Antoine. I love Chicago, Antoine. Love Chicago. I'm really in the market for a gentleman from Chicago. I would love to date somebody from Chicago. Hey, Gigi. Hi, Nylon. What's going on, y'all? Listen, I'm coming on here to have the full conversation with y'all about all of this work I've been doing, honey, about this changing your life, revamping your life. So many of y'all have responded so positively to what I've been talking about on In Bed with Bevy, and I want to say thank you. Now, thank you to DST doll, honey. Thank you, sister. So, a lot of you guys have watched the Scott Evans episode and really appreciated the interview, which was really a conversation. Hi, Melvin Flint. I love you, my baby. That's my nephew, y'all, Melvin Flint. That's my first nephew ever. He's the first child born in my family after me. Hi, Derek Monroe. I love you. Chantel, I love you. Chantel, can you believe In Bed with Bevy? Chantel is someone who has known me for 20 years, I think, maybe 18, but a long time. We met each other because we worked together. She used to be at an agency, and I'm talent, and that's how we met, but we actually connected and became friends, so that's great. Hi, Andrea. Thank you, baby. Thank you for saying it's motivational. And please heal up, Chantel. We need you back at Essence Fest. Okay, so guys, let's get into it about changing one's life. So here's the thing. Spring has sprung, right? We are going into it's now a new quarter. At this point, so much of the stuff that we said we was going to do, thank you, Valencia, about this whole, what's that called? Push the like button. You saw my interview. Thank you, Antoine. So Scott is someone that I really admired, and I love him. And if you watch the interview, Damian Long, I love you. That's my brother-in-law. You're like my actual family. So I got my nephew, Melvin, my brother-in-law, Damian. I got my family. Hi, Kaylee. Hi, Lioness. This excites me to know him. So, Scott Evans is someone who I love, right? So he's much younger than me. And so you guys don't know this about me, but as we go through these journeys together, you'll see that I'm a person that I cannot see someone's gift and talent and not tell them, oh yeah, you should be doing X, Y, Z. I know it's a horrible thing sometimes to do. Thank you, Lioness. Hey, Tanya. But it's something that I do. I see things very clearly. Derek Monroe, my friend, who also is an amazing Grammy, Emmy Award nominated hairstylist. He told me just today, he was like, you're marketing, that's what you do. You're a marketing genius or whatever. I don't know if he said genius, but I've been called that. Okay. Hey, Darren, thank you for saying it was fire. And thank you, K. Dion. So one of the things that I realized is that I have really innate gifts. And most of us have innate gifts, but so many of us ignore them. We don't tap into them. And a lot of times we don't think that the gifts that we have are anything special. Now stop down on that for a minute. Hey, TS. Think about that. Sorry, y'all. I'm telling you, my allergies are like bothering me. So I even have like, I have makeup here in case like my whole makeup just slides off my face. Um, but a lot of times we think of the things that we're good at as nothing special. And I'm here to tell you, it's a lot. The things that we do are very special. The things that we are called to, the things that bring us joy, the things that come easy to us, those are one of our gifts. Gerald Timberlake, that is my brother. That's my actual blood brother on here. I love you, Gerald Timberlake. Tanya just said, a marketing genius, how can I book a consult? You can't book a consult, girl. You know I'm not doing that kind of work. But if you continue to watch In Bed with Bevy, I'm just dropping, I'm giving out free jewels. I also have a newsletter called No BS with Bevy Smith that you guys can sign up to because that's amazing. But like No BS with Bevy Smith, I'm so proud of. And I also have activations that I do. Like I just did an event at my radio show, Bevelations, and I invited 10 people who are newsletter subscribers to see me interview Method Man and Kelly Rowland in person. So those are the kind of things that you get if you sign up for the No BS with Bevy Smith newsletter, which can be found at, on my link tree and all of that. Darren, thank you, baby. And Trina said there, especially because the things we do come through are unique. Exactly. Yes, LaKay, thank you, baby. And you love the newsletter? Thank you. The first softly was my favorite, saving my coins. Okay, yes, Trina. And Tanya, okay, thanks, I'll sign up. I'm looking to publish a book. Okay, well, I'm not the girl that's going to tell you how to publish a book because I'll be honest. I published my book. They paid me to write my book. Hey, Jacob. They paid me to write my book. So I'm in a very unique situation where I was paid to write a book. I did not self-publish. They actually came to me and said, would you like to write a book? It was Andy Cohen who came to me and said, would you like to write a book? Thank you, guys. So would you guys just tell me this? Do you guys want to hear the story of me and Andy Cohen? Let's vote right now with the people that are on here. Yes, please do, Michelle. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get a little tissue because I'm a little sniffly. Okay, 1 yes, 2 yes, a lot of yeses. Okay, I think that you guys will love this story about me and Andy Cohen. So everybody's ready for story time? Okay, so story time goes like this. Okay, I see y'all subscribing. I'm getting the notifications that y'all subscribing to No BS with Bevy Smith. Yeah, thank you. That's the newsletter. Give you lots of unique information. So, once upon a time, I was an advertising executive. And I was very successful. And then I decided I didn't want to do that. And I quit my job. But when I quit my job, which people thought I was crazy to quit my job because I was very successful, I told everybody I was quitting my job. And I told everybody I was quitting my job because I wanted to do TV. Now, what makes that interesting is that I told literally everybody. I told the mailman. I told the receptionist. I told the bodega owner. I told the guys on the corner at the barber shop. I told my 7-year-old nephew, Brownie. I told everybody. I told everybody that I was quitting my job to do TV. And one day, it's the summertime. I'm in the house. So I quit my job in February. And when I quit my job, I went on this Eat, Pray, Love event where I traveled. I went to South Africa, Zambia, Costa Rica, Brazil. So I was like, transversing the world, as it were. And then I started taking acting classes, improv classes, writing classes, all these things. So by the time the summer comes of 2005, I'm like, juicy, I'm doing all this good work. And I get a call from someone who is in Fire Island. Now, this guy is someone I knew from advertising, the advertising space. We worked together in the same space. We didn't work at the same company, but we knew each other from the business community. He's like, I'm on Fire Island. My friend does programming over at Bravo. And he's looking for someone, a woman who is an expert on fashion, but also is like funny and smart and all the things. Oh, how do you send me tips? I don't know. Dove, how do they send me money? Okay. So he was like, he's looking for someone to audition for this show. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So the casting people contact me. The Bravo casting people contact me. And then I literally go in on like maybe a Tuesday and I audition on tape, which means like you're not in person with people. You're like literally taping in front of people, but they're not the people that are going to make the decision. Okay. So I do my little tape. We talk about fashion, all these things. I'm very knowledgeable, but I'm also funny. I swear to you, Thursday, I get a contract for the show. It's amazing. I'm so excited. We get the contract. I look at it. I'm like, I don't know if this is I don't like this contract. It's not that much money. It's not that much money. So I say to my agent, okay, well, let's go back. You know, because I'm a business person. So I'm like, let's go back and negotiate, right? He's like, okay. So he goes back to Bravo, not to Andy. I want y'all to be clear. Bravo is the company. Andy is just an employee. He's not Andy Cohen, head of all things Bravo. He is literally, he got a job. He's just a cog in the wheel. An executive, but he's not the Andy Cohen that you know today. So they go back to Bravo, Business Affairs, and say, you know, this doesn't really work. We thinking about this, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens? Bravo says she can either take this or leave it. My lawyer calls me and says, Bevy, we don't have a choice. They're not willing to negotiate. So, and I said, full of, you know, when you don't know if you don't know what you don't know, you don't know it. So I'm full of bravado, gumption, delusion, whatever you want to call it. So I say, well, we always have a choice. And I'm choosing not to take this. Because the same way they see my talent, somebody else will. So I declined the job. Andy has his office call me and say, we want Bevy to come in and meet with us. Now, they're not going to give me the job. There's no wiggle room on the negotiation. But they're like, Andy's office says Andy would like to meet you, Andy and his boss, this wonderful woman named Amy Intricasso Davis. So, yeah, no fears. But it don't. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to ever give you the whitewashed version of my life. If there's things I don't want to talk about, I'm just not going to talk about them. But I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I'm not going to make things that wasn't sweet look sweet. So, yes, Trina, what's for me is for me and all of that. But there was a cost to me saying no to this job that Andy Cohen and Bravo offered me. There was a cost, okay? So stay with me, y'all. So I say, okay, great. I'm happy to come in and meet with them. So I know I'm coming in to meet with these people. So, and again, this is before Andy Cohen is on TV. So I don't know who Andy Cohen is. It's not like now where if you knew you was having to meet with Andy Cohen, you'd be like, yes, I'm going to meet with Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen was literally an executive. So I meet with a lot of executives. And, okay, that's cute for him. Whatever he got going on, whatever. So I go on to meet with him, and his boss, and I have on, like, literally, I'm telling you, about $15,000 worth of fashion. Because it was a fashion show. It was a fashion TV show. I'll tell you guys what it was. It was the Tim Gunn show. So I have on a bunch of clothes, honey. I come up in there, Missoni and Saint Laurent and Goyard and, oh, child, I'm up in there. So when Andy sees me come tipping up in there, he says, oh my God, you're even better on in real life than you were on tape. And I say, thank you. And then we just talk. Him, me, and Amy Intricasso Davis. Wonderful people, both of them. Totally got me, totally got my spirit, my steez, all of it. But it's Andy Cohen that says, we're going to work together. We're going to work together. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm excited because, and guys, for 7 years, Andrew Cohen kept trying to find a way to work with me. 7 years. 7 years. So the part of the story that I want you guys to take in is that I wasn't waiting for Andy to give me my shot. I was simply doing my good work. And I would let Andy know all the progress I was making. So when I created Dinner with Bevy, I let him know, like, when it was written up in like the New York Times or something, or when it was on Huffington Post, I was like, hey, Andy, just want to let you know what I'm doing. And Andy Cohen would like call me every now and again and be like, hey, I've got this pilot I want you to come in and audition for. I've got this thing. I've got an episode that I think you could be on my show. Do any of you guys remember when I was on the Chef Roble show? And I did a Dinner with Bevy? Well, that was Andy Cohen that put me on the Chef Roble show doing the Dinner with Bevy. It was the first time ever the Dinner with Bevy had national exposure. And for many of you guys, that's the first time you ever heard of a Bevy Smith and the first time you ever heard of a Dinner with Bevy. That was Andy Cohen who put me on Chef Roble's show. So I know people got a lot of things to say about Andy Cohen, but when I tell you that I'm a woman of integrity and Andy has handled me in that way, okay? So do with that what you will. But I'm a woman of integrity. I know who I am. And I also know my value. So Andy has always treated me accordingly. So all of a sudden, I'm doing all these different things. I'm broke, whatever. But I'm working. In my book, hold on, y'all. Hold on. In my book, Bevelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie Bestie, there's a whole chapter called Broke But Blissful. And it talks about the fact that I was broke, but I was very, very happy because I was doing all the things that I ever quit my job to do. So the money had not caught up with the opportunities, but I was doing everything I quit my job to do. So Bevelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie Bestie. If you want to buy a copy from me, go to bevysmith.com. And I'll sign it. And I also have mugs to say it gets greater. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. But this book. Thank you, Tenaz. So, Andy Cohen. Back to the Andy Cohen of it all. So, Andy Cohen keeps booking me and doing things and nothing sticks. And then one day, I have to call him because a friend of mine from New Orleans really wants to go to Watch What Happens Live. So, of course, Andy's my friend. So I'm like, okay, child, I'll call Andy and see. So when I call Andy, he's like, oh, we don't really have any space. But I need a bartender for that night. So if you'll come and bartend, then I can have a seat for your friend. Now, here's the gotcha. I was signed to a holding deal with BET. I had a show with BET, a pilot with BET. You guys know what a pilot is? So basically, it's when a network pays you to do a test show. So basically, they pay you money, and then they shoot the show, and then they put it up and see if people want it. Usually, they do it with a focus group, which would be people like you guys that would come in and watch it in the room and give your reviews. Or sometimes they just do it in front of the executives of the network. So I had a holding deal with BET. A holding deal means you cannot do TV for anybody else, because if you do, well, I can't just assume that, Nicole, because everybody's not in the business. So I got to be respectful of everybody. So with this holding deal, I'm not supposed to do TV for anybody else because they have me on lock for a certain amount of time. And they've paid me for that, okay? So I'm like, well, the people at BET ain't watching but watching what's the people at BET are not aware of what Watch What Happens Live. They're not aware of it because this is way before it became this big powerful show. I was like, them black people ain't watching that show. So I said, I'm gonna go on and do it. And because remember, the when you're the bartender on Watch What Happens Live, you ain't really on the camera that much. They like pan to you. They're like, on behind the bar tonight, we've got Bevy Smith of Dinner with Bevy, and then you wave, and then it just moves on, right? So I think that's what it's gonna be. Now here's the twist, y'all. Now y'all ready for this? Now strap in. The night I do the guest bartending show, who is the guest, guys? I want you to guess who is the person that Andy has on his show, and it's a solo show. It's just Andy interviewing one person. Now it's usually two people. This time it's only Andy, and he's interviewing one person. You guys tell me who you think it was that Andy was interviewing that day on the show. No, it's not. It's not a celebrity like that. It is literally a housewife. I'll give you that much. So tell me who you think it was. No, not the president of BT. No, not Nene, but that's a very good guess. That's a very good guess. The Nene would be an obvious guess. But it's somebody else, like a big housewife. It's a big housewife. Bethenny Frankel. Yes. Thank you, Courtney. Bethenny Frankel is a person he is interviewing. Now, here's the interesting thing. A couple of years prior, it gets so good, y'all. But y'all gotta hear this. A couple of years prior, Andy had done a test, a pilot for a show called Fashionality. And he had tried out a bunch of fashion people, which I was in that group of fashion people. And then and then it was going to be some Bravo talents, some of the housewives. So on this pilot, I did chemistry tests. So chemistry tests are when networks put a bunch of people together to see if they have chemistry so that they could do a panel show. So on this chemistry test was, Courtney, help me remember who this woman is. She was the publicist for People's Revolution. She was really caustic, really opinionated, dark hair. I cannot remember her name. It's drawing a blank. But and on the same panel, Kelly Catrone, thank you. This is why I mess with Courtney. Y'all, everybody check out I'ma Let You Finish podcast with my friend Courtney Anderson. He's amazing. Kelly Catrone, yes. And yes, Derek, she had a show. So Kelly Catrone is on this panel, on this chemistry test panel. Nene Leakes, Bevy Smith, Valerie, I forget Valerie's last name, but she's like the head of Fashion Institute of Technology, their version of the Costume Institute, but at Fashion Institute of Technology. So a real, Valerie Steele, a real bona fide fashion girl, like a historian, like going to give you all the things, right? And then Bevy Smith and Bethenny Frankel. So because we had done a chemistry test, now obviously if you're doing a chemistry test is to see if y'all have chemistry. So you get to know people. You chat with them. You're, giving off different conversation and everything. Now here's something that I don't really know for sure, but I'm just going to put it out there. I know this is going to stay there forever, and Andy is free to say that's not why he did it, but this is what I think happened. So I'm in the chemistry test. I'm new to TV, but I also understand that I'm with really big personalities. I also understand that these big personalities, when you're white and have a big personality, you could just be seen as passionate and as confident and as ballsy. But when you're black and you're a black woman and you're curvy and you're dark skinned, being very combative, being very loud, being very on any of those things could be seen as aggression, can be seen as angry black woman, could be seen as the sassy black woman who's gonna be like, I'm gonna tell you one thing. And what I realized is that I never wanted to be perceived as that on television for sure. I don't want to be perceived as that in real life, but I damn sure don't want millions of people to see me like that on television. I don't want that. I just felt like that could be a very limiting space, right? So when I'm on this chemistry test with these people with big personalities, the only person that didn't have a big personality was Valerie Steele because she's an academic. But everybody else is very opinionated. And when I tell you that Bethenny, Kelly, and Nene are bosses for real, and going to tell you what they think, and the way they think, and it's going to be the way it is. So I'm like, I don't want to get involved in all of that. So I'm like, I'm just going to jump in where I can, right? But when you're doing a panel, you guys have seen enough panels. You got Derek Monroe is one of the Emmy-nominated hairstylists on The View. He does a panel show every day. He knows when you're doing a panel show, people have to have differing opinions. That's what makes a panel interesting. So you got to be able to get in there, right? You got to be able to get in there and like tussle with the people. Now, I should never get to the point of disrespectful, but you got to know how to like get in there and give your opinion and make sure that your opinion is heard. But I felt like the only way to get my opinion heard sitting next to Nene, Bethenny, and Kelly would be to be like raise up and like literally go crazy Harlem on them. And I'm like, yes, Tanza, I decided to keep it classy. But guess what happened? Keeping it classy also kept it very boring. Now, I don't know, Andy's never told me that he was bored by me. But what I will tell you is that Andy came to me later on that day and he was like, okay, so, by the way, the director was like, hey, Bevy, we want you to get in there a little bit more. And Derek will know what that direction is. When the director says, we want you to get in there a little more. We want to hear from you, Bevy. Like, get in there. Like, just get in there, right? So I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'm trying to get in there. But again, I'm also in my head, like, I don't want to be seen as the angry black ghetto girl from Harlem that's like, y'all going to hear what I got to say. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. So, yes, I'm not talking. I wasn't acting timid, but I was definitely acting reserved. That's what I was. I was very reserved. So, when we take a break, Andy's like, okay, so yeah, you're doing good. I don't know if the panel's really your thing. He was like, but I have another idea. This gets really good. No, it wasn't being more black. It was literally like, hello, say something. I was not really speaking. So I didn't take it as like, be more black it up. Because people have, people will say that kind of stuff. But this wasn't a black it up thing. This was more like, I mean, come on, speak up, lady. You're here for, to take up, to be on the panel. So Andy says to me, it's pretty good, but you know what I think? I want to do? He's like, I think I want to have you conduct man on the street interviews, and I want to call it Bevelations. Bevelations. And so I go from being on a panel to Andy Cohen giving me my own standalone moment where I get to interview people on the street about their opinions on different pop culture topical things. So Andy Cohen, who many of you guys think is like not a generous person, I'm here to tell you, has been very generous with this girl. So he gives me my own segment. And I'll never forget, it was right when the Obamas first got in the White House. That's 2012, y'all. Y'all let me know if it's 2012. So 2012, so it was the first time ever that a black family was going to be in the White House. And it was going to be the first time ever that the White House would have hair relaxers, hot combs, different things like that, right? Because he said to me, maybe you want to do something around the Obamas, the White House, the excitement. 2008? Is that? My God. Are you serious? Is that right? Well, I guess that is right. Okay, well, damn. Damn, 2008? Wow. Okay, so let me get back to the story. I'm gagging. So I go to my friend's hair salon, Styles, New York. Shout out to Carla. And I do an interview and talking about black women in hair. So we were way ahead of our time, talking about black women in hair and talking about the what the White House can expect, from having a black woman with black daughters and a black mother in the White House. So 2009. Isn't that crazy? So we do that. So anyway, the show doesn't go. So we do this pilot. The show doesn't go. But Andy does have a small little show that he does on fashionality. And that show is Watch What Happens Live. So that show went. Our show, the fashionality show, didn't go. Fine. But through it all, Andy would always call me up for different opportunities. So back to when I'm on Watch What Happens Live, and I do the, can someone look up when did Bethenny do her solo show on Watch What Happens Live? If someone could tell me that, because then we can get the timeline going, y'all, okay? That's why I need a producer up in here. Yes, and also a black hairstylist, Johnny Wright. I didn't know Johnny at the time. It's 2008. I didn't know Johnny. He was from Chicago. I'm a New Yorker. I didn't know Johnny at the time. Now Johnny is my baby. So, I all of a sudden, because he's interviewing Bethenny, so when Bethenny sees me, she knows me because we had done fashionality together. So she's so happy to see me. She's like, Bevy, and hugging me, and it's a live show. So Bethenny's like chatting me up and happy to see me. And then Andy's like, come out, Bevy, come out. So instead of being behind the bar like I'm supposed to be, no, not December 22, no. No, this is way, 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 way back when Bethenny had a solo thing on this. So they tell me to come out from up behind the bar, and we playing all the games, the shot ski and all this stuff, and we're just having the best time. And when that show is over, Andy says, I got the show for us to do together. I'm like, you do? He's like, yes. And the show is not named what it is. It became Fashion Queens. It wasn't that name. I will not tell you guys the name because it's a horrible name. So no, it was before 2022, because 2009, that would make sense. 2009. So yes, that would make perfect sense. Thank you. Or maybe it was later. I don't know. 2015? Was that right, Dove? Anyway, guys, point is, he tells me she did one-on-one with Andy in 2000, so that would make sense, because that's when Fashion Queen starts, 2015. Right, guys? Can someone now look up when Fashion Queen started? I know I'm putting y'all to work, but I just don't know the timeline. I don't be knowing, I be living. I don't be remembering the dates. I remember the time, but I don't remember the dates. So, Fashion Queens. And I'm not excited about doing it, guys. So let me just be very clear. I quit my job in fashion to not do fashion. I did not want to do fashion. I was over fashion. Okay? Very over fashion. Very not excited about fashion anymore. Really wanted to leave. I thought it was a very... okay, so it must have been 2000. I don't know, guys. But anyway, I'm telling you how it went. So I was very against doing fashion. I left my job to not do fashion. I was over the fashion industry, over the fashion world. I didn't want no parts of it. So when he tells me that the show was going to be around fashion and red carpet and all this kind of stuff, and obviously I'm like, oh, okay, so we're supposed to be an antidote to Fashion Police, which was very obviously white facing, and the way they saw fashion was very white centric and very Hollywood centric. And with me, Derek, and Lawrence, it would definitely be very different, obviously, right? So he tells me about the show, and I'm like, okay. But I'm not that excited because I really don't want to do the show. But here's the thing. It had been 7 years since I had been offered the show on Bravo. And while I had all kinds of pilots and all kinds of holding deals and all this kind of stuff, nothing had ever gone to TV. Nothing had ever really stuck. Nothing had gotten greenlit. So in my mind, I was like, okay, girl, you can't keep waiting for the perfect motherfucker. Oh, excuse me. You can't keep waiting for the perfect show. You're going to have to just maybe get in there, let people see you, and hopefully the right people will see you, and then you'll get a chance to do a show that you really want to do, right? So I'm like, okay. So we do like a bunch of test shows for fashion queens. And I don't think much of it. By the way, I was afraid to work with Miss Lawrence because I thought he was like a messy queen from reality TV. I knew little Derek J, so I knew Derek J was an amazing person, but I was afraid of Miss Lawrence, like literally. And I think I'm going to do a Fashion Queens in bed with Bevy, so I will not tell the story, but just suffice to say, I was very afraid of Miss Lawrence and very like, I don't know about this. And of course now he's one of my best friends who I speak to every single day. Which just goes to show you, sometimes you just have to take a chance and go for something, because that's exactly what I did. So I'm like, not really caring about the show. The show does really well in the testing. It gets picked up, and now all of a sudden we're on like this little show that could. We're on this show that like is literally in the Watch What Happens Live studios. We shoot on a Sunday. Andy shoots his show, I think, at that time on a Friday or Thursday or something. So they, like, save lots of money because they don't have to put us in a different studio. They just have to turn it over, put some of the props up, the little shoes and the bags and all of that. And then, you know, we just do our show. And it's just us three talent. And we sit there and we gab and we talk about the red carpet looks and all this kind of stuff. And we did some revolutionary things. The Gig Awards. You know, I love Keke Palmer down, but you already know. Bevy Smith doing the Gig Awards was the first time you heard gig in the mainstream space. Gig! That was Fashion Queens. We did a lot of groundbreaking stuff. And we did have great chemistry, Tanza. And we still do have great chemistry. And we had so many amazing moments on that show. And that's the reason why people still talk about this show to this day. No matter where we go, people are always like, y'all should bring that show back. But I have news for you guys. You know you can't just bring a show like that back, right? Like, it's very hard to bring a show like that back because everything is PC. And I'm not complaining about being PC. You can't just go around saying whatever you want about people no more, which is a good thing. Okay, so Nicole said that she wants to be a talk show host. Any advice? The advice I would give you is if you want to be a talk show host, go ahead and be a talk show host. Be a talk show host on here. Be a talk show, because as you can see, they canceling talk shows, on the TV. They are canceling entertainment shows on the TV. So, as my friend Derek, who has his own show, he has his own talk show called Behind the Scenes Beauty, where he's interviewed all kinds of big celebrities from like Tisha Campbell to Wendy Williams, to Bevy Smith, to Anthony Hamilton, all kinds of people. He created his own talk show. I would advise you to create your own Do not, because if you're trying to break into the business, exactly, Tanza, Access Hollywood was just canceled. But if you watched In Bed with Bevy, then you would know that. Oh, this is my nephew, Damien Long, not my brother-in-law. Which one is it, Damien? Is it the little Damien or the big Damien? Yeah, so I would always advise people to do what it is that they want to do. Greenlight their own projects and give it an old go. Derek and I, oh my God, my nephew Donovan is on here too. Hi, Donovan, I love you. My beautiful boy. But things are different now on television, and there's not a lot of room for a lot of us. I don't know if you're black or brown, but if you're one of those things, it ain't a lot of room for us. Yeah. And so many of us are going our own way. So I still have my show on Radio Andy. So Andy Cohen, that's how we got to this. Andy Cohen also gave me a radio show. So when Fashion Queens got canceled, Andy Cohen, maybe a month later, was like, hey, you ever thought about doing radio? And I was like, oh my God, I have thought about doing radio. As a matter of fact, thank you for subscribing to Derek's channel, Feline Fusion. Everyone should subscribe to Derek's channel, Behind the Scenes Beauty. So he gave me this radio show. He called me and asked me if I wanted to do radio. I said, I've been meeting with radio stations. Yeah, I would love to do radio. He said, well, come and do a show. I got this channel on Sirius XM. And I said, well, as long as I don't have to talk about fashion, because I had, I'm always going to be that girl that I'm going to be like, well, thank you for the opportunity, but if it don't work for me, it don't work. So I was like, as long as I don't talk about fashion, I'm happy to do the show, Andy. And Andy says, it's your show. Talk about what you want. He's like, it should be your Twitter feed. Because my Twitter feed was very diverse. I talked about politics and pop culture, fashion, love, relationships, all kinds of things. The kind of stuff that I'll be coming to you guys and doing too. So he said, yeah, whatever you want. So that's how I started doing Bevelations, my radio show. Bevelations. Isn't that crazy? So I started doing Bevelations 10 years ago. My first guest was Pharrell. My last guest this week, Kerry Washington. That's also why I decided to not do celebrities for In Bed with Bevy. Does anybody want to hear about that? Tell me, because I'm going to get some water. Tell me if you want to hear. There I go. Now we back. Whew. Sure. For those of you who are interested in It Gets Greater Later mug, the Bevy Smith shop is right at the bottom. It Gets Greater Later. And on the other side, Bevelations. Ooh. Okay, anyway. So, what part were we on? It's on the top of the chat. What part were we on? I was talking about Revelation. Oh, what was that? It was not, we gotten off of that. It is a cute mug, right? Come on, y'all, order it. Not having celebrities. Thank you, Chelconic. So, on Bevelations, I've been interviewing celebrities for 10 years. 10 years. And I have a great relationship with celebrities. But what I have found is that I don't want to be redundant. And I think that a lot of times when you watch celebrities do the rounds of shows, because that's the thing, celebrities oftentimes don't do press unless they're promoting something. And if they're promoting something, they're kind of going around to everybody and kind of telling pretty much a lot of the same stories, same anecdotes, same old, same old. So, yeah, you might get somebody to say something a little different. But for the most part, So I decided for In Bed with Bevy, I wanted to empower people. I wanted to tell stories about people who were very successful, that may be celebrity adjacent, but they're not celebrities in that way. So Scott Evans is obviously celebrity adjacent because he interviews all the biggest stars. And yes, he is a celebrity of sorts. So here's the other thing, right? What's interesting is that, because it's different levels of celebrity, right? So there's people that interview celebrities that then become celebrities, like a Ryan Seacrest, right? Like a Scott Evans. So some people might say me, right? But then when you are on, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, but, and I don't know if you know this, but there is a social hierarchy on red carpets. So when you're looking at, like, for instance, the Met Gala is coming up. When you're looking at the Met Gala, the biggest celebrities come last. And then the bigger you are, the later you can show up. And then there's people that are celebrity-esque, notables, celebrity adjacent. So when I went to the Met Gala, I didn't go as early as a social media influencer, but obviously I didn't go the same time as Katy Perry did. Does that make sense? Because there's a hierarchy. So that's what I'm saying. So I want to interview people that are successful, that you guys know already, that you've heard of, that you might be interested in, but you also are going to unearth new things about this person, right? So that is what I'm doing on In Bed with Bevy. And I'm also interviewing people that are very successful, that are very ready to pivot, to change their lives yet again. Because I feel like so many of you guys are out there that have maybe done something that you're really proud of in your life. You've hit a couple of your different marks. There are things that you once only dreamed of and now you have them. So I want to talk to people that can inspire you to make that next move. And I feel like celebrities are not relatable in that way. So even when we hear a celebrity talk about their hard times, it's hard to kind of connect with someone saying, I only got paid $5 million for that movie, and somebody else got paid 20. Because we like, bitch. If they gave me $5 million for, 10 years, I'd be like, yes, mama, I made it. So a lot of times, we can't connect with that. But if I have someone like a Scott Evans who just lost his job on In Bed with Bevy, talking about how he was able to pivot because he saw the writing on the wall. He knew that network TV, syndicated TV was going away. So he bet on himself by creating House Guests where he spends his own money. That's great. Cat Moon is trying to open the studio. I think you should try him because he's in the middle. I know he's a left, but it might be worth a try. Darren, I don't think the Cat Moon is in the middle, baby. He's doing what he wants to do. He's currently doing what he wants to do. He's not pivoting. He's not changing something in his life. Okay, Sabrina Elba. She's inspiring, doing amazing things. So this is not about people that are just doing inspiring things. This is people who have been very successful. Listen, you've had to be already very successful. And then you say, I want to do something different outside of that success that I've already had. That's when you're in the middle. So I don't want to talk to people while they're on there, while they're trying to make it. I'm talking to people that have already had wins. They got wins on the board. And then they decide, you know what? That's been really great, but I'm ready to have something new in my life. I'm ready to try something different. I don't want to rest on my laurels. So somebody like Sabrina Elba would be great once she has made her skincare brand this multi-billion-dollar brand, and now she's like, you know what? Now I want to become a folk singer. And I'm going to walk away from my skincare business, or I sold my skincare business for $50 million, $50 billion, and now I'm going to go and be a folk singer. I've been doing radio for 10 years, and my job wants me to stay small. I'm taking the leap to move to Harlem, chase my radio and sell my own IP. You're bigger. Thank you, Dre Taylor, and congratulations. Miss Valencia, you might be onto something. And that's all I'll say about that, Miss Valencia. But your instincts are very good. No shit, I think we're all over celebs. I'm not going to say we're over celebs, but I think you might be a little bit right. I think that, it's great. Yeah. Is it still fear when you're in the middle of redoing or something, becoming something new? I will tell you that I did not have fear around being in the middle this time. What I had was I felt a loss. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do next. I knew that what I was currently doing, which is a lot to do with celebrity, I knew that doing the celebrity work was no longer that interesting to me. It was not holding me. It couldn't keep my attention. Like, I've done it. Ooh, it's amazing. I love it. The celebrities know me and love me and respect me. Great. They're going to come on the show. Yeah. But it was no longer that compelling for me. So I knew I needed to do something, but I didn't know what that something was. Yes, Derek, and sacrificing that win for something new. Exactly. So I didn't know what that was, and I was really not in a good space. For, I would say, the second half of 2025 to probably February 2026, the doll was feeling very disconnected and discombobulated and all of this. So I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I really realized that I had so much intellectual property that I had never even tapped into, including In Bed with Bevy, something I've been wanting to do for over 20 years. Yeah. Everyday folks can be in the middle. Exactly. I went from a nonprofit to pursuing a doctoral and teaching now. Exactly. Exactly, Trina. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Darren. Yes, Darren. Confuse it. Well, maybe January. Because it was really, Derek, when would you say that I really was like, I'm doing In Bed with Bevy? Wouldn't I really say it? Derek would know. But yeah. Hey, hip hop. Yeah, so I was really confused and very like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't say I don't know what I'm going to do, but I was just like not excited about much of nothing. You know? So, January, yeah. So Derek said it was like January. Yeah, so I would say second half of 2025 to, yes, exactly. And then January is when I really started doing them on IG. Yep. And then in February, I made the announcement. Yeah. I'm so sorry that you lost your dad, Sea Breeze. You lost your dad this year and you feel disconnected, but I want to fly. I'm not sure where. You got to take your time, baby. You got to take your time. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give you when you're going through grief. Like, give yourself time to grieve. Yes, I did put it together really fast, Darren, because I knew what I wanted to do, so I was like, done. And I have a lot of people that love and respect me, so I knew I could get really good guests. How'd you make your way out that hard time and go from confusion to clarity? I prayed, I journaled, I painted, I took my time, I let my discomfort, instead of running from my discomfort, I let my bones settle in it and be like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's next. And I'm not really that pleased and I don't really know. But yeah, I said I'm going to I just sat in that discomfort until I was ready to get up out of it. Yes, I'm still doing Dinner with Bevy and Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision. Are you asking about Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision, or are you asking about Dinner with Bevy? So Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision is about helping people change and shift their lives and get out of a rut. And then Dinner with Bevy is about celebrities, but I'm still doing both of them. Okay? Kimberly Elise, okay. No. I also don't want to talk to Christian people because I don't have anything to do with that, Karen. Like, I don't know how to talk to Christian people. Like, I'm not religious. I don't really, well, I'm going to say to them. I believe in God. But, Derek, you already know. Can you imagine, Derek, me trying to sit up and talk to Christian people about Christianity? You got to know your gifts. Thank you for saying I'm aging beautifully. Yeah, Karen Good. Shout out to my friend, my sister friend, Karen Good Marable, who I've known forever and a day, who's always believed in me. Yes, yes, Deborah. Well, thank you for attending the first Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision. I love it. Well, I talk to you, Derek, but I'm also able to be very honest with you, being like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. What is happening? You can't talk to the people like that. You know. Thank you, Nisha. I love you right back. How did you balance placing urgency behind your pivot while figuring it out? I didn't have no urgency about my pivot. I'm very, very, very patient. That's my greatest gift. Very patient. So I didn't have no urgency. You know what I mean? I was just like, I need to figure this stuff out. But I didn't have no urgency around it. I'm just like, I know God speaks to me. I know I just said I wasn't Christian. I'm not a Christian, but I believe in God. And I pray all the time, every day, several times a day. But I really do believe that God gives me a download and God orders my steps. I know it's a very Christian thing. Yes, be anxious for nothing. Yes, God, be anxious for nothing. How you manage projects and incubation and know when to launch. God, y'all be asking technical questions. Spirit be moving me. But with everything in prayer and supplication. Yes, come on now, Pastor Derek. Wait, I think I get back to that. I didn't use cue cards with Embebba Bevy. Yours seemed like such a natural conversation. How you prepare for your interviews. Thank you for saying that, Trina. I want to have conversations, and I prepare by studying my people. I also only talk to people that I'm actually interested in. And I do that on Bevelations as well. I only interview people that I'm interested in. It's so funny because talent at Bevelations, which is the radio show, they have people that book the talent. So I don't have to go out and try and find people to interview. But they had somebody they want me to interview who's a big wrestling person, a really big deal. I was like, no. They were like, why not? This person is huge. They have millions of followers. I don't know that person. I don't like wrestling. It would be too much work for me to have to try to, one, find out why wrestling would now all of a sudden be interesting to me. And then I would have to study this person's 10 plus year career to do a good interview. And for what? Some people I want to talk to. Get them out of here. I don't chase. That's the other thing too. Can we talk about that? I'm not chasing viral, nothing. I'm not chasing none of that. You screamed when I told Scott that I hate that. Exactly. Pastor Monroe is in that word. One of my favorites is all things work together. Exactly. I'm entering into the social media platforms in the podcast industry. What advice would you give us as a newbie? Now, I'm a newbie too, pumpkin pie. So, the only advice I would give is, I think, like for me, and I'm different though, because I am a notable person and I do have a following in other spaces, but I try not to ever chase anything that people say are a trend or will make you go viral. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I'm not interested at all. Does a pivot need to be something completely different? Meaning writer, Jason Reynolds is always going to be a writer, but now he has this amazing coffee brand. Perfect. Love it, Karen. That's a pivot. It doesn't have to be something completely different. Yeah. Yes. In social media, learn strategy, learn the why. There are no real best practices. Okay, Trina, I don't know that. I don't know it, but I just know what my spirit tells me. And I'm not figuring to do a TikTok dance because everybody is doing it. I don't want to do I don't care. I'm gonna dance to my own beat. But I will also tell you guys, I think one of the reasons why I'm built like this is because I was, when I was a kid, a follower. If you read the book Bevelations, middle school found me being a follower. So I was a follower for 3 years of my life. And those 3 years marred me so bad that I won't even join groups. I've been asked by so many sororities to be a part of it. I've been asked to be a part of the links and all that. I don't want to follow nobody. I don't want to be in no group where it's a big person on top and you got to follow what they say. No, man. Because I was a follower as a kid. So now I chafe at the idea of this being some person that you got to like, whatever you say. No, man. I don't like it. What else did you say? How did you get out of your own way? Prayed. And I also took the time to understand who I was. So when you come to Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision, I do this wonderful thing where I ask you 3 questions. Who are you at your core? How are you being perceived? How would you like to be perceived? Those 3 questions, answering them, made me understand who I was and who I wanted to be. And it got me together. Got me right back together. Come on, I like these questions, y'all. These are good. What other questions y'all got? Somebody asked me about Khalees. I would love to do Khalees, and she's actually a friend, so she would be a very good one. Do I recommend pivoting cold turkey, or can the pivot include doing both a 9 to 5 by setting the foundation for a smooth, not perfect transition? Now, that is a great question, Sherman. Now, let me tell you my story. Y'all want to hear another story? I got a million stories. And Khalees is definitely someone I know, so I can actually call Khalees and ask her to be in bed with Bevy. So I love that idea. Okay, so for me, when I quit my job, I had to do the pivot cold turkey because if I kept my 9 to 5, I would have never left my 9 to 5 because my 9 to 5 was so lucrative. Also, now, this is going to be very, very, very controversial for you guys. You're not going to like it. I'm a Scorpio. You're not going to like this story, guys. I quit my job in 2005. 2004, obviously, I'm still very restless. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I need to do something. I need to change my life. Very restless. I have an opportunity to buy a brownstone in Harlem. I know you guys are like your heads are about to explode. So I have to make a decision. Do I buy the brownstone in Harlem in 2005, 2004, 2005? Or do I decide to invest in my new life? Because I can't do both. You can't buy a brownstone that needs to be renovated and quit your job. You can't do both. What would y'all do? So Darren is telling me that I should have bought the brownstone. But I would love to hear from y'all. I'm going to sip my water while y'all tell me what y'all would have done. Because remember something. If I keep the job, I get to buy the brownstone, but then I'm stuck in stuck in a bad job that does not fulfill me, that makes me unhappy, that has made me a miserable bitch. So what should one do? Because then also, too, I'll have the brownstone, right? Then I'll have the brownstone. See, Trina read the book. I buy the brownstone. I have the brownstone. I bet on myself. And I got to tell you, I'm real happy I bet on myself. There's no way a brownstone could have made me this happy. There's no way I could have been this happy. No way in the world with a brownstone. There's nothing that a brownstone could have given me. Do you understand? If I keep my job, I'm an advertising executive right now. I don't write this book. I don't do Fashion Queens. I don't do Page 6 TV. I'm not an actor on Harlem. I don't do In Bed with Bevy. I don't do any of those things if I buy the brownstone, y'all. I don't do any of those things if I buy the brownstone. So to some people, I made the wrong move. But for me, and this is what is so important for you guys to remember, it's not about what works for everybody else. What works for you? What works for you? Buying the brownstone would not have made me a happy person. It would have made me miserable. I still live in Harlem. I just don't live in the brownstone. And not only, I can't buy a brownstone now, Feline Fusion. I'm a known person. I need a doorman, honey. I can't have people ringing my doorbell. That's where Bevy Smith lived. I saw her on TV. I love her. Ding dong. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No ham. No pam. So that dream is done, and it's okay. Look, I'm crying, y'all. That better? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a safe haven. Next question. Did you prepare a script for TED Talk? They want speakers to prepare. Trina, girl, y'all want to know the story about how I did my TED Talk? Because y'all know I did a real TED Talk. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something that's going to sound a little snobby, but I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. Y'all want to know the truth. A TED Talk is different from a TEDx talk. TED is the mothership, and TED, you have to be invited to do it, and TED has very stringent rules, including you cannot have paper, a teleprompter, nothing. Okay, that's TED. And since the inception of TED Talk, it's always been in Vancouver. This year is the last TED conference that will be in Vancouver, and now it's going to move to San Diego. But when I did my TED Talk in 2022, it was in Vancouver. And I did the real TED Talk, okay? So the way I got my TED Talk, because you have to, most people, they pitch to do a TED Talk. They have publicists, they have managers, they have agents, they have all kinds of people that reach out to TED and try and get a TED Talk. And I didn't have to do that. Also, what's interesting, now this is something I want you guys to take in. Now come here close. This is what I want you to take in. This might sound arrogant, but I'm going to tell y'all the truth. There are certain things in life that I don't even prioritize on my wish list because I already know that I'm going to get them. I'm going to do them. You hear me on that? There are certain things that I want in life that are not even prioritized on my wish list because I already know it's a given. I already know it's already done. That's very Christian to me. It's already done. TED Talk was one of those things that I knew I would do. So it was not on my, oh my God, one day I want to do a TED. Not on my list. Not on my list. Yes, Deborah. Okay, love the orange. I can't answer that right now. I'm in the middle of a story. But I'll come back to that. So I did Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision, which I'm doing one in April. So whoever would like to apply, go to bevysmith.com. There's an application for Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision. It's my brunch event that I host, and it's amazing. It's 3-course meal. It's conversation. You have to apply. Not everyone gets accepted, but it is a whole mood. Is a whole mood. So I had Dining with Bevy, Life with Vision. I did the Bevelations version. So I did it in DC. And this wonderful woman comes up to me and she says, I went to Life with Vision about 10 years ago. And it was, so by the way, I've been doing this work for very long. So she said, I've been wanting to do, she said, this Life with Vision is even better than the first one that I went to. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you. She said, by the way, what you did in the room today is a TED Talk. And I said, really, you think so? Thank you. She said, I work for TED. Would you like me to put your name in the hat for a TED Talk? I said, Well, yes, I would. And that, my loves, is how I got my TED Talk. Give me real applause, y'all. Isn't that something? That's how I got a TED Talk. That's crazy, right? But I think that, like, when you're doing your good work and you're living in your purpose, I think that that's what be happening. When you do your good work and you live in your purpose, I think that that's what happens. Right, Melvin Flint? I think that's what happens, guys. Thank you guys for the applause. Yeah, it's pretty magical the way that happened. So that's how I got my TED Talk. Alignment, exactly. Yes, Darren, the full circle moment. So what's interesting about that, now that Darren said full circle moment, let's stop down on that really quick, guys. So I do life with vision. That's my good work is what I call it. And that's my give back. Because, full transparency, life with vision, that event does not pay me a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money. And it takes me, it's weeks of work. And the money that I make from Life with Vision is not even the money I make for a speaking engagement. Do y'all hear that? The money that I make from doing Life with Vision is not even the money I make from a speaking engagement. So I do the good work. I do it because I have to do it. I have to give back. Like, yes, right on time, aligned with purpose, yes. God led, yes. I have to give back. I just feel like God has blessed me so much in the way that I'm able to live my life and maneuver through all these things and actually be able to actually bring my dreams to fruition. Hi, Harlem girl. It's too amazing. I have to share it. I have to share it. So that is what I do. So that's my calling on that, on Life with Vision. And I think eventually I'll make real money at it, but right now I don't. And that's okay. I've been doing it for, I don't know, I think the first one we did was 2012. So yeah, good amount of time. Oh my God, that's awesome, Deborah. I'm so glad that Life with Vision really helped you. I'm so glad. That's the stories that I love the most. And I get a lot of those stories. I get a lot of great positive feedback about what people have learned or the relationships that they made. Because it's all about fellowship, connectivity. I'm all about communication, connectivity, and culture. That is what I'm all about. That's the work that I'm going to be doing. That's the work that you see me doing, moving through. So I'm so happy that that worked out for you. You still talk to people, Shell Connick? I'm so happy. I know exactly what you meant, Shell Connick. I know what you meant. You and our Forever Flows are going to be doing something as well. Congratulations. Well, I don't know about that sea breeze. Okay, so now can we talk something turkey? Can we talk turkey? Can we talk turkey? I love everybody. But I don't look to anyone. I don't look to Mel Robbins. I don't look to Oprah. I don't look to Mrs. Obama. I respect everyone's position, but I don't put anyone above me. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Like, I don't put anyone in a space of like, oh my God, one day I will connect with them and it's going to be sips tea. I'm running on my own steam. Not above you, but it's going to happen. Yeah, well, yeah, it can totally happen. But what I'm saying is that's not something that's even on my mind. You know? Am I inspired by anyone? I'm inspired by a lot of people, different aspects of people. I'm inspired by people who I don't worship anyone, though. No one is my guiding light, correct? God. But people, there are lots of people that I admire what they do. Like, I'm in awe of the work that Viola Davis does when she's on Broadway, or Audra McDonald. I'm in awe of, Alexander McQueen as far as a fashion person, a fashion designer. I mean, he's dead, but what he was able to do. There's lots of people that I admire their gifts. But I'm in such a space, and I'm so glad that you guys asked me that. I'm so glad you guys asked me that, because now I actually realize that I have a healthy respect for people, but I don't feel like, oh my God, when I meet this person, or I would love to, I'm happy to meet everybody. Not one over the other. There are certain people that I want to talk to, but a lot of times I don't even be knowing I want to talk to them. Okay, Darren, you are your own lottery ticket. I love that. A lot of times, so for instance, I just spoke to Christine Baranski, the actor on Bevelations in the fourth quarter of 2025. Big fan of her work. Very respect her to the nth degree. Delroy Lindo. Just had him on the show last month. Big respect. So there are certain people that I'm very excited to talk to, because I really respect what they do, what they've done, the craft of it all of that. But I'm not like, I don't know. I just, I love and revere Whoopi Goldberg. And I'm so, pinch me moment that I actually have her phone number. And oh my God, it's Whoopi. Jennifer Lewis. There's people, but yeah. Oh, it's a big trip. Watching my glow up. Thank you, baby. Me too. And I'm still glowing and up. It gets greater later, y'all. So yeah. So I hope that cleared that up. I don't want to be shady to nobody. I would love, love, love to speak to Mrs. Obama, to have a real conversation. But then again, maybe not, because she's a celebrity now. So am I going to get anything different than what everyone else has gotten? I don't know. They can't really talk. You seem to have a lot of experience in the entertainment industry. Would you say fashion, music, or film has been the most challenging and problematic to navigate? Well, I entered fashion when I was a kid, and when there were not a lot of Black people in designer fashion, so it was a very lonely space. I never really worked in the music business, and TV. And you know what? I gotta say, I don't look at challenges as problematic. I'm not bitter about the fact that I was broke for 5 years, from 40 to 45. Okay, y'all, okay. Let's not get stuck on the Mrs. Obama thing of it all, okay? But all I'm saying is this. Mrs. Obama has been on a lot of shows. She's talking. She's open to talking now. So, I don't know that I'm going to get something so riveting out of her. That's why I would rather talk to other people. It's okay. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, I love to travel. And I take travel advice from other travelers. You know where you should go? You should go to X, Y, and Z. And if it's a person I respect that's traveled the world, not somebody that's or everybody that was oh, Dubai never interested me. Never wanted to go to Dubai in my life. Yeah. Okay, we can't wait for the next episode. Yes, thank you, Dove. Lake Como, I've been there. Now, okay, so also you guys should know this. I've been all over Europe. And I don't really feel the need to spend a lot more time or money in Europe. I go to Paris every year. I love to go to Rome. There are places I like to go in Europe, but really for me, I'm interested in going to the Black and brown places. So for my 60th birthday in November, I'm going to Kenya. As long as everything's okay in the world and I can move around the world. But I'm going to Kenya because I've never been to Kenya. I've only been to Tanzania in East Africa, so I really want to go there. And then I want to go to Senegal. I want to go to Nigeria. I want to go, I want to see more of Africa, and I want to see Asia. I've only been to India, and I've only been to Bali in Asia. Oh, thank you, CPCC. Oh, wow. Well, give your daughter my love, Deborah. Oh, yeah, I've been to Ghana. I went to Ghana for the year of the return. It was a great time. I've not done finding you. Okay, so now let's talk about that really quick. We're going to end this in 8 minutes. So let me talk about this real quick. See, I want to talk to Henry Louis Gates. So the real talk of it all, y'all, I'm not that interested in celebrity in that way. I'm interested in the intellectual people. The people that I'm also going to be booking on In Bed with Bevy. I'm also going to get some psychologists on here to talk about being in the middle. I'm going to get, some therapists, some people that can really help us break down being in the middle and how to navigate and all that. I want to give us information. I want us to be inspiring. So I want to talk to Skip Gates, y'all. I would love to do Finding Your Roots because my dad is a Geechee and he's amazing. So Dove is telling us to wrap it up. He's controversial in some spaces. He passed Creole historian Landry, or what does that mean? Okay, I know he's controversial, but I think he does the work though. Thank you, Trina. Okay. Well, Reinvent, we're going to have to talk about that a little later because we're about to wrap this. But guys, thank you so much to every single person who joined us on this conversation. I hope that you guys have subscribed. Hope you subscribe to the No BS with Bevy Smith newsletter. Just be sure not to miss the next chat, y'all. Exactly. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. You can chat me up. Oh, please cover the importance of IP. I'll do that on a later date, I promise. Thank you, Tanza. Thank you, Darren. Darren's been great chatting with you. Great chatting with Tanza. Feline, thank you for staying the whole course. Hi, Gigi. Sherman, you were great. Thank you for staying the whole course. If Courtney's still on here, Darren, you were amazing. Court Monty, my nephews, Damien and Melvin. Thank you, Mainstream Beauty. Also, thank you. I said Derek. Thank you to Derek. Of course, thank you to Dove. So, yes, subscribe, like, comment, share. Let the people know what the doll is doing. Thank you, Trina. I'm hoping that I can get that out there to the people. And I hope that you guys see that, my full personality, too. I never want you guys to buy into that I'm, just... Oh, and thank you, Uncle Jerry. I love you so much. That's my big brother, Gerald Timberlake, 6709. That's my baby. That's a man who has shaped me to be the woman that I am. My big brother. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys for supporting me. I know I can be a little snappy, but that's just who I am. So I will always try to be polite and not too snappy. But, Did you find a full-figured black woman? Well, I'm not full-figured. I'm curvy. Because full-figured connotes I have to go to a different store to buy clothes, and I do not. Hi, Audrey. Telling you get some custom suits and beautiful coats, man. Yeah, I don't need no clothes, child. But I get what you're saying. And Nerek, honestly, Hollywood and fashion, it's not really, I mean, I know, obviously, I bet you I've not gotten jobs because I'm a curvy girl. I bet you I've not gotten jobs. I just don't know about those jobs. I never feel, you know what, can we just end on, I do not feel, I know that I have probably been passed over in my life for many things. Just no one's ever really told me. So that allows me to have some level of agency. I love that you're pivoting for celebrity in a way, because those of us who know you, and I'm so glad the world knows beauty, embody, and personality. Thank you, Karen Good. Karen Good is one of my most brilliant friends, an amazing writer, a gift to me, a blessing in my life, my family's life. I love her. Please go support Karen Good Marble. She's a writer. If you Google her, you'll see. Get into it. Get into she. She writes books, y'all. So yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I'm more interested in the cerebral and the intelligence and making it more palatable for all of us. Thank you, Sea Breeze. Angelique, Angelique, I'm not gonna say people are haters, because I know there are controversies around him. And everyone's what we're not going to do is sow no seeds of hate or dissension up in here. That's what we're not going to do. So, because we love everybody, and we want this to be a loving space. And we don't want to have no beef and stuff. Y'all want to fuss and fight and tussle. Y'all go and do that. So many places on YouTube and on social media to tussle. You ain't going to tussle up in here. We don't tussle. We block if we got it. If you want to tussle with me, I'm going to block you. Yes, me too. I want to hear about my Geechee roots. Irving Mack, we're going to be positive, but for real, right? Thank you, Nene, for real, girl. Y'all are so great. Thank you, Stacy Camille. Is that my friend, Tracy Camille? Is that my friend? I wonder if that's my friend. Thank you, Kevin. Yes, Darren, no tussling. I am where I'm supposed to be. Yes, the Bevy Lane. Let me go ahead and copyright that, trademark that, okay? All right, lovers, I'm going because it's 4:30 and I'm supposed to be in the streets already. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to everything and to turn your notifications, because not this week, but next week, I will have a new edition of In Bed with Bevy with Justin A. Sylvester. You don't want to miss it. It's another great conversation. Ciao for now.